My name is Susan Harris. I coordinate NANOG meetings on behalf of Merit Network. We are here courtesy of Group Telecom, most notably thanks to our host, Randy Niels. Thanks to Randy's thoroughness and skill at engineering, the months of planning before the meeting have gone incredibly smoothly, and I hope you agree things are going well here. I've learned a lot from Randy. If you have a chance, do say hi to him in the next couple of days. There are about 530 of us here. We're up a bit from our numbers in Miami, and we represent 17 countries and 2 hockey teams. And there are 12 of us here from a possible future World Cup winner, too. This chart, just to be sure that you all got that hilarious joke, I'll leave that in here. Okay. This chart shows the approximate percentage of various occupations represented at the past few meetings and at one slightly earlier one in Montreal. No surprise that ISPs, network operators, are always the largest category, followed by equipment vendors. 19% is other. Included there is content providers. That number was a little bit interesting. We've never had many content providers coming. Last fall at Oakland there were 3% of us, but that number dropped in Miami and Toronto. Now we're less than a percentage point on content providers. Today, in honor of our 25th meeting and 9th year, we've invited back our previous moderators to take on their old roles. Elise Garrick will be on this morning. Yes. We love Elise because she and another friend, Mark Knopper, founded NANOG in 1994 when they were both at Merit. Elise upped and moved to the West Coast, and after she left, our favorite joke teller, Bill Norton, took over as NANOG moderator. He'll be in charge this afternoon. Bill, are you here? I just applauded for you, I hope. And tomorrow morning, the person who took over when Bill left for the West Coast will be up here instead of me. That's Craig Labovitz. He led a number of research projects while he was at Merit. So please give these people your full attention. And in order to do that, keep your cell phones turned off. We truly, really encourage you to ask questions. We would love to have you rush up to the mic to gain additional information after each speaker. When you do that, though, please introduce yourself. And as usual, slides for the talks are linked off the agenda page on the web. There's a lot of network information for you there as well. Do encourage you to configure your browser for SQUID. It will speed up your web access considerably. Has my voice been jumping from side to side as I move? Okay, I'm going to stay right here. The person to ask for help with SQUID, if you have any questions about the browser, is Dwayne Wessels. I don't see him right now, but now you know what he looks like. If you have general network connections about your connectivity to the internet, please check with David Gilbertson or Bob Stovall or Felicia Maloney. They're hanging out at the AV table in back. David's in the picture on the left. Felicia is not in the picture. If you have other network questions, AV, meeting questions, you'd like to know more about Merit or NANOG, check with Betty Burke or Sue Joyner or Charlie Stratton. They are also hanging out in the back of the room. Jason Russell handles our streaming media. I think a lot of you have met these folks already, but I just wanted to show you who they are. We are lucky enough again to have Hans and Lucy with us handling the multicast broadcast from the University of Oregon. What, Hans? Smile? If we could pick anyone in generally the entire world to do multicast for any meeting, These are the people everyone picks, and we're just fortunate to have them here. Carol and Dawn will be out at the registration desk throughout the meeting if you have questions. And if something comes to your mind, something really, really nice about me, please go directly to my boss, Jeff. Jeff is responsible for our new high-performance networking area at Merritt, and before that he spent many years building our state network, MishNet. Surveys come online later today. I have an extra special motivation for you this time to tell us what you think about the meeting. If you don't share your thoughts, I will kill you. After the beer and gear, we have 2 sessions tonight. Bill Norton is again leading his wildly successful peering boss. This is the 5th iteration. We're also going to hold a session that Kay Claffey is leading to give you a chance, even beyond your surveys, to talk with us about what you would like to see at the meetings, what you see that you wish you hadn't, meeting logistics, mailing list, whatever. Do come and talk to us. Redback, thank you for feeding us this afternoon. And now I would like to introduce Robert Watson, who's going to greet us on behalf of Group Telecom. A message from our system administrators back at Merritt, and
thanks, Susan. Good morning. It's I must admit I've done many presentations. In fact, I just came back from doing one with a major manufacturer. They're looking at their supply chain management, their whole supply chain management system. And it was fascinating. This is the first time I think I've ever seen so many laptops sitting during a presentation. Welcome to NANOG 25, I'm going to say 75, but 25. Group Telecom is pleased and honored to sponsor it. I get all my direction also from Randy Neal, so I've been told to make sure I read my stuff here to make sure that I get everything in. First of all, where's Canada? I know some of you people have had the opportunity to spend some time. We are very upset, by the way, about Carolina taking us out of the playoffs, and of course we don't like Detroit Red Wings, so we're kind of Canadians watching the Stanley Cup final with some intrepidation. It was a great game the other night, though, wasn't it? It was a good game. So I'm doing well, Randy. I'm reading my stuff here. Generally, Canada. I mean, I'm not. This is supposed to be for the geographically challenged. We are second largest company. Could be argued. Russia is the largest, but Canada is 6,000 kilometers long and 100 miles wide is what Canada is. Most of the population's within 100 miles of the border, and it goes all the way from Victoria through to St. John's, Newfoundland. You'll notice in Canada we name cities and towns all the same. You have St. John, New Brunswick, and St. John's, Newfoundland. We used to have 2 professional football teams with the same name. Kind of weird. But we still are the U.S.'s largest trading partner. No matter how much in Canada we try and build east-west networks, most of our traffic, the traditional voice traffic, and also especially the internet, goes north-south. The U.S. is our biggest trading partner. The Greater Toronto Area is the population center and also the economic center of Canada. In the whole GTA, there's within about a 2-hour drive of the city of Toronto, there's about 5.5–6 million people, of 31 million in the country. So I understand some of you people had a chance to go down and see Niagara Falls. Absolutely spectacular if you really do get a chance to go see it. And then the sites, of course, the Hockey Hall of Fame is in Toronto, the center of hockey. And for all you Carolina Can you feel my pain here? We thought we had it this year. We thought we had it. Baseball, we did win the World Series several years back. That was quite exciting for us. We don't have that great a team now. And the Raptors, it is really is a great area to be in. Some of the geographic area north of Toronto, known as the Muskokas and the Kawarthas, is some of the most spectacular lake districts in the world. Very similar to northern Michigan areas, and it's a great area. If you really have time to see it, you should come and see the Greater Toronto area. NANOG 25. This fiber we have Group Telecom has put fiber directly to this building. It says you're 2,403rd fibered building in Canada. In fact, truly, we have about 2,700 buildings in Canada that we have direct fiber to. We don't count them because we don't have electronics into them. We've installed the Cisco routers and the Catalyst 5505, and we have special thanks particularly to Bob Chambers and Marcos Bellanini. Sorry if I mispronounced that. For ONET with their multicasting and everything, because that truly has helped us out a lot in this presentation. Here's a diagram of the network itself. OC3 clear connection for you. We thought that would be enough, and it looks like it's not a problem according to Randy. It seems to be taking all the traffic fine. This is Group Telecom's national network. We're just completing, this is all the areas where we do have points of presence in, and we're just completing. In fact, there's several of our engineers and operations people not here because we are in fact just completing the lighting up of our DWDM network that will go from Victoria all the way through to Halifax. We don't go over to St. John's. We do go direct connection down into Seattle, Chicago, and New York City. It's the Lucent 800G equipment that we've installed, and our first customer is Canary. Canary is CANet 4, which is the same as the Internet 2 in the United States. It's a research network. And we've actually started to deliver cross-sections to Canary already. By the time July 1st comes, we will have a DWDM OC192 network from Victoria all the way through to Halifax. And as I said, Seattle, Chicago, and New York City. We're very proud of that. We started that project in the middle of February, and we'll have over 6,000 kilometers of wavelengths lit up by July the 1st. We're very proud of that project. The following team, not all of them, but some of the people from GT who are here to help you out. And I want a special thank to the women out at the booth there. Say hi to them. They're all GT people who have volunteered to come up and work the weekend and also today and tomorrow. Special thanks to them. And I hope I got everything here. That's everything. Again, I don't want to take up much time this morning. Group Telecom is pleased to help you and sponsor this. And please, especially if you see anything you need or want anything, please ask anyone from the Group Telecom staff, and they'll be pleased to help you. Thank you very much for attending.
Hi, I'm Elise Garrick, and I was really pleased to be invited to introduce our next two panelists that are going to be speaking. But before I do that, I was a bit shocked when Susan said, come and to the 25th NANOG. I thought, oh my God, I can't be that old. It hasn't been going on for 25 years. And it hasn't. So you're not that old either. But NANOG does have its roots about 15 years ago, and it started with the NSFNet project and a group called Regional Techs. So before I introduce our panelists, I'd like to kind of put up a couple slides that may trigger some memories, or some of you may look at it and go, what in the heck is that? I was going to do it on transparencies because that's the way we used to do it, but I didn't know we'd have a transparency machine. So, whoops, that's not it. It'll take me just a minute. Okay. All right, so one of the first regional techs meetings, we put up a slide that looks much like this one in front of you. And I didn't put any titles on it on purpose, just because I didn't know if any of you'd be able to guess what we were trying to present to the engineers that were attached to the NSFNet network and what information we were trying to share with them. So I'm opening this to guesses from the audience. Would anyone like to say what this graph represents? Route table growth. Absolutely correct. So as you can see, in the first bar is July 1988. We had 217 nets on the NSFNet backbone, and we were so proud. We were really happy people. And by December of that same year, we had 346. You can see it was growing by leaps and bounds. Who would have thunk? I'm sorry? So then, as the NSFNet continued to grow, as you can see, I don't think it's linear anymore, but I don't know. This is our growth path. And in 95, this is actually February of 95, so it was probably a few more. We got all the way up to about 46,000 and some routes in the NSFNet backbone. It was a pretty phenomenal project, and as you know, in 94 is when NANOG started. So for those of you who couldn't get all the dots on that chart, in 88 we had 217 nets in the network. In 94, when CIDR took place, we kind of stopped counting them by A's, B's, and C's. If you go to the old charts, you'll see net count, and all those 217 are broken up by A, B's, or C's. And then also 94 is when NANOG started. And in 95, when the NSFNet was retired, we were just over 46,000. And I couldn't find a lot of charts that would give me information on a network's routing table. A lot of folks don't share that data anymore. But Tony Bates put in place a program a long, long time ago when he was at RIPE, and it's still available, and you can get the data from a wide perspective. WIDE's the Japanese networking and research group. And right now they've got 114,000 as of the June 2002 report. So I just thought, since this is the 25th NANOG and 15 years after the NSFNet kicked off the regional techs, which grew into this organization, it would be kind of fun to share this information with you. And since Susan mentioned how many international attendees we have at the North American Network Operators Group, I put the chart out where it shows the non-US nets that were part of the networks that were on the NSFNet backbone. As you can tell, in 1988, where you can't hardly see any nets at all, there were a total of 9 networks that were considered international non-US nets, because the NSFNet, of course, had very restrictive policies as to who we allowed to route. By the time we closed the network in 1995, there were over 19,000. And now I don't think, except for Aaron and RIPE and APNIC, that we don't really look at IP addresses as being allocated as non-US or US.